What's good, family? This is the Ownership and Greatness Show. And as always, I'm your host, Joe Chege, back with another weekly episode. Today is not different from the other episode, but I was having a conversation with my nephew, and we were talking about great things that the youngins can do, especially people who are just fresh out of high school, people who are trying to venture out into the world. And we were having this conversation talking about why we should not always have this great expectation from the people around us, because as we all know, sometimes people make all these great promises, people make all these great promises to us, or we have great expectation from the people that really matter in our life, and whenever they don't show up or whenever they don't deliver from their promises, it always leaves the people who had expectation heartbroken, or they feel like the other person didn't really care about them. And I had to share this with him. I was like, you know what? I read a book. I remember, I think it's the Fourth Agreement, where they were talking about having great expectations and why it is necessary to always do the right thing by yourself. Like if you want something done, it's always good to just go out there and do what really matters to you. If you really want something done the right way, it is necessary to actually go out there and do the right thing all by yourself, because sometimes you might have this great expectation for your parents, like because they're your parent, you expect them to do every single thing you ask them. But what we forget sometimes is they also have responsibilities, they have other things that they need to work on, and also they're human beings, they have their own faults, and not only that, they're also growing and learning things in this life, because depending on what's really going on in your life, you might have these expectations with your spouse, like, oh, I expect my spouse to love me, I expect my spouse to understand what I like, what I don't like, to change for me so that my marriage can be this way. But the reality is, if you have great expectation from someone and you haven't even explained to them what you'd want them to do, and when they don't do what you have expectations of, guess what's going to happen? You're going to feel discouraged, like I said before, and you're going to feel like they no longer love you, or they don't value you. But the truth of the matter is, if you explain it or you express it and make them know that this is what I'm hoping you can do for me, or this is what I would like you to do for me or to help me with, then they are going to be able to at least have a clear picture of what you are actually asking for. But when you have all these great assumptions, when you have this great expectation, just because you feel like that's my parent, that's my brother, that's my friend, or this is my coworker, and you're like, yeah, if it was me, this is how I would have done that. That's different. Like if you want someone to do something for you, if you want your parents to do something for you, if you want your colleague to support you in a project, you have to make sure that you express yourself. You explain to them what you want them to do or what kind of help you expect from them. But when you have these assumptions, when you have these expectations, and you haven't even broken them, you haven't even broken down the expectations to them, or even explained yourself, then things are not always gonna go your way, and you're the one who's gonna always be left frustrated. So my thing is, and something that I've learned along the way of this road called life, is we have to make sure we are clear to the people we are communicating with, or the people we have these expectations from, and tell them, like, this is something that I would appreciate if you can do this for me, or if you can assist me, or if you can mentor me, or if you can help me in one way or another. But when you have these great expectations and people don't follow through, or they don't fulfill them, you shouldn't be angry with them, because at the end of the day, you are the one who wants something done, but you've given the entire responsibility to someone else. What I can urge you is, whenever you want something done, try as much as you can to do it yourself if you're capable of doing it. But if you don't have the time or the energy and you have to delegate it to someone, make sure you express yourself, or you give the right direction, so that whenever that person is going to be able to work on that project, they already know what they're supposed to do, and they'll be able to follow through and do the right thing. So my goal this week is just to encourage you that whenever you want something done the right way, it is always good to do it yourself, so that you can follow through and make sure it's done 130%, instead of just delegating, or having this assumption that someone is going to do it your way and you haven't even explained yourself. So this is to the young. I just want to encourage you and let you know, for your life to thrive, for you to be able to accomplish great things in life, for you to be able to move to the next level of your life, you have to start holding yourself accountable. Stop having this great expectation of your parents that they're going to come through for you and do all these things, because they, like I said before, they also have many things to do. And you have to ask yourself, okay, I know they always show up for me. They've been able to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for me. What am I going to do for myself to be able to fulfill the ideas or the vision or the dream that I have for myself? Because nobody else can see what you have inside of you. Nobody else can be able to see your vision, to see your dream, or to actually see the clear picture of what you have in your mind. And that's for anyone. It might be your spouse, your business partner, your parent. Like, you have to, first of all, bring out the concept out of your mind. And if you want someone to support you, if you want someone to hold your hand on this journey of life, make sure you express yourself correctly and in a respectful manner. And also, just explain yourself. You have to make the right decision and make sure they understand what you really need, instead of just assuming because you mention it they are gonna do everything the way you have it, or the way you're thinking of it in your mind. So I just want to encourage you this week, go out there and do the things that really matter in your life for yourself. And if you need help, make sure you explain and you break down how exactly you need someone to support you. Don't just assume because you've mentioned it, they're going to jump in and save the day and do it the right way. Nah. If you want something done the right way, go out there, do it yourself. If you want someone to assist you, make sure you explain what needs to be done and how you'd really like it done. And if they don't even show up, or if they don't do it according to your way, don't fret, don't stress, because at the end of the day, it's your responsibility and it's not their responsibility. Because as I know and as I've learned throughout my journey of life, is sometimes when you have great expectations with people, they might come through or they might not. So always have an open mindset where if it works, well and good. If it doesn't work, it's fine. It's just a part of life. All right. So until next time, I believe you're going to be able to take this gem and use it in your life, in whatever direction you want to take in life. Always make it a habit to do the things that really matter in your life by yourself. Bet on yourself, because once you do that, it actually helps you to learn from the experience, and so that next time when someone requests you to do something for them, you will understand how it feels, and you're gonna definitely show up for them and do the right thing. All right. So until next week, this has been the Ownership and Greatness Show. My name is Joe Chege. I'll see you next time. Peace and blessing. If you really enjoyed the episode, feel free to subscribe and also follow us on all social media platforms at Ownership and Greatness. Until next week, stay inspired, stay motivated. This is the Ownership and Greatness Show. Peace and blessings.